They told us that if you wanted to build the future of technology, you had to be in Silicon Valley. But step outside California and you'll discover a very different story. A story written by Indian immigrants who have turned unexpected corners of America into thriving powerhouses of innovation, from Texas to Atlanta, from New Jersey to Seattle. This is not the Silicon Valley story. This is the story of 5 new frontiers where ambition, resilience, and vision have redrawn the map of American technology. Texas has emerged as one of the strongest contenders to Silicon Valley, and at the heart of this transformation lies the immense contribution of Indian immigrants. For decades, Texas was known primarily for its oil and energy dominance, but in the past 2 decades, cities like Austin and Dallas have been reshaping the narrative by becoming hotbeds of technological innovation. Indian talent has played a defining role in this shift, both in the workforce powering the giants of industry and in the startups that are redefining the tech landscape. Austin, often nicknamed Silicon Hills, has become home to global tech titans like Apple, Tesla, and Oracle, and each of these companies employs a substantial number of Indian professionals who have relocated not only from other parts of the United States, but directly from India, attracted by the opportunity to work in cutting-edge fields while enjoying a lower cost of living than California. Beyond corporate jobs, Indian immigrants in Austin have been founders of dynamic startups in areas such as artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, and clean energy tech, proving that their impact is not limited to coding or engineering roles, but extends to leadership, innovation, and venture capital. Dallas, meanwhile, has carved out its own niche in IT services, telecom, and fintech. This city has one of the fastest-growing Indian populations in the United States, and with that demographic surge has come a wave of entrepreneurial activity. Many Indian-owned IT consulting firms that began as small-scale operations in Dallas have grown into mid-sized companies serving Fortune 500 clients, while others have specialized in cloud solutions, data analytics, and fintech platforms that provide alternative banking and payment services to underserved communities. The strategic location of Dallas, with its central position in the US and a business-friendly environment, has made it an attractive choice for Indian entrepreneurs seeking to expand beyond traditional hubs like California and New York. What makes Texas unique is not only the scale of its opportunities, but also its openness to immigrants. The local economy thrives on diversity, and Indian immigrants have found in Texas a place where their skills are valued and their businesses can grow without the suffocating overheads of Silicon Valley. The cultural ecosystem also plays a role in this success story. Texas is home to vibrant Indian communities that have built strong professional networks, established cultural organizations, and nurtured the next generation of Indian American talent through mentorship, education, and community support. Events like TIE Austin and TIE Dallas provide platforms for Indian entrepreneurs to pitch ideas, secure investment, and connect with industry leaders, while academic partnerships with universities such as the University of Texas at Austin fuel the pipeline of skilled graduates ready to innovate. Taken together, these elements make Texas not just an alternative to Silicon Valley, but in many ways a model of how Indian immigrants have been able to take root, adapt, and thrive in a new environment while shaping the very future of technology in America. The Research Triangle in North Carolina, anchored by Raleigh, Durham, and Chapel Hill, has grown into one of the most dynamic tech ecosystems in the United States, and Indian immigrants have been crucial to that rise. Unlike Silicon Valley, which developed rapidly around venture capital and startup culture, the Triangle has been built on a strong foundation of research institutions, universities, and an emphasis on collaboration between academia and industry. With Duke University, the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, and North Carolina State University forming the core of this region, the area has become a magnet for biotech, software development, and data-driven innovation. Indian immigrants, many of whom initially came to North Carolina for higher education, found a fertile ground for building careers in science, engineering, and business. They became professors, researchers, engineers, and later founders of startups that bridge the gap between research and commercial application. This transition from academia to industry is one of the hallmarks of the triangle, and Indian immigrants have been at the forefront of turning academic research into viable business solutions, particularly in the fields of pharmaceuticals, biotechnology, and information technology. The story of Indian immigrants in Raleigh-Durham is not just about working for someone else, but also about creating ecosystems where innovation thrives. Startups founded by Indians have sprung up in areas such as health tech, AI-driven data analysis, and software platforms that serve global markets. With the cost of living significantly lower than Silicon Valley and a quality of life that balances professional ambition with family life, Indian entrepreneurs have chosen to establish roots here rather than migrate west. This has created a reinforcing cycle where the presence of successful Indian-owned firms attracts more talent from India, who in turn build their own ventures or contribute to existing ones. At the same time, the corporate world in the Triangle, dominated by companies like IBM, Cisco, and GlaxoSmithKline, has absorbed large numbers of Indian professionals into leadership roles, demonstrating that immigrants are not just participants, but decision-makers shaping the direction of global technology strategies. The community support networks in North Carolina further amplify this growth. Indian professional associations and cultural groups host mentorship events, networking opportunities, and conferences that allow young Indian graduates and professionals to connect with seasoned executives and entrepreneurs. These spaces encourage collaboration rather than competition, making the Triangle a more nurturing environment for innovation compared to cutthroat tech ecosystems elsewhere. Moreover, Indian immigrants have also brought with them a global outlook, ensuring that startups and research initiatives in the Triangle are not merely local or national in scope, but truly international, forging ties with markets in India, Europe, and Asia. This blending of global perspective with local resources has helped the Triangle emerge as a respected hub of innovation that competes with more established centers of technology. By bridging research excellence, entrepreneurial energy, and strong community networks, Indian immigrants have helped turn North Carolina's research triangle into a beacon of what the future of American tech hubs beyond Silicon Valley can look like. New Jersey has long been seen as a quieter neighbor to the global financial engine of New York City, but over the past 2 decades, it has built a reputation of its own as a thriving hub for technology, pharmaceuticals, and financial innovation, with Indian immigrants at the center of this transformation. The state's geographic location has always been its biggest strength. Being close to Wall Street and major corporate headquarters has allowed Indian professionals and entrepreneurs to tap into high-value industries without the intense competition and sky-high costs of Manhattan. This has given rise to a unique ecosystem in which Indian-led companies, consultancies, and startups flourish, particularly in IT services, fintech, and pharmaceutical research. Many Indian immigrants who initially came to the US on H-1B visas for IT consulting found in New Jersey not just jobs, but also opportunities to establish their own firms, often starting as small consulting shops that later grew into mid-sized enterprises serving global clients. These companies play a critical role in supporting banks, insurance firms, and financial institutions in digitizing their operations, managing cybersecurity risks, and streamlining their technology infrastructure. The state has also become a hotbed for fintech startups, many of which are led or co-founded by Indian entrepreneurs. These firms work on everything from digital payments to blockchain applications, creating platforms that not only serve Wall Street, but also reach consumers globally. The presence of a highly skilled Indian workforce, combined with access to capital from investors in both New Jersey and New York, has made it easier for these startups to scale rapidly. Beyond fintech, New Jersey has a long-standing reputation in pharmaceuticals and biotechnology, thanks to the presence of giants like Johnson & Johnson, Merck, and Novartis. Indian immigrants, many of whom came with advanced degrees in chemistry, biology, or pharmaceutical sciences, have become indispensable in research labs and executive roles. Some have transitioned from employees to founders of biotech startups that focus on affordable drug development, medical devices, and innovative health solutions. This dual influence in both IT-driven industries and life sciences makes New Jersey unique compared to other immigrant-driven hubs. Edison, New Jersey in particular has become symbolic of this trend. Known for its large Indian population, Edison and its surrounding areas host countless Indian-owned tech firms, consultancies, and small businesses that directly contribute to the state's economic vibrancy. Beyond the corporate world, Indian professionals in New Jersey have built strong cultural and community networks that provide mentorship, career guidance, and even investment opportunities for new immigrants eager to break into the tech and business world. Organizations like the Indo-American Chamber of Commerce and local chapters of TIE, the Indus Entrepreneurs, have further supported Indian-led ventures by creating bridges between entrepreneurs, investors, and policymakers. This supportive ecosystem allows innovation to grow more organically, backed not only by market demand but also by cultural solidarity and professional collaboration. What distinguishes New Jersey's story is that it is not merely a spillover of New York's financial power, it has become a standalone hub where Indian immigrants have shaped industries, driven technological transformation, and demonstrated how immigrant ambition can create sustained impact across multiple sectors of the economy. Washington State, particularly the Seattle and Redmond area, has grown into one of the most influential technology hubs in the world, and Indian immigrants have been central to this story of growth and transformation. While Silicon Valley traditionally grabbed headlines, Washington quietly developed a different kind of ecosystem, one anchored by corporate giants like Microsoft, Amazon, and later a wave of fast-scaling startups. Indian professionals, many of whom arrived in the US through tech-driven immigration programs, quickly became a visible force within these companies, not just as engineers and developers, but as project managers, researchers, and executives shaping global strategies. Redmond, home to Microsoft's headquarters, is often described as having one of the highest concentrations of Indian professionals anywhere in America, and this presence has had a direct impact on the direction of the company's innovations in cloud computing, enterprise software, and artificial intelligence. Similarly, Amazon's dominance in e-commerce and cloud infrastructure has been supported heavily by Indian engineers, product designers, and data scientists, many of whom climbed into leadership positions after years of shaping the technical backbone of the company. The significance of Indian immigrants in Washington's tech industry is not limited to working within corporations. Many of them, inspired by the ecosystem around them, branched out to create their own startups, focusing on areas such as AI applications, machine learning platforms, cloud security, and even gaming. Seattle's startup scene, though smaller than Silicon Valley's, has benefited from this influx of talent and entrepreneurial drive, with Indian founders playing a disproportionately large role in setting up ventures that not only serve local industries but also reach global markets. A major factor in this success is the support network that has grown organically within the Indian community in Washington. From mentorship programs that connect young professionals to senior leaders to networking events hosted by professional associations, Indian immigrants have built structures that encourage collaboration and help newcomers navigate the highly competitive world of technology. This sense of community has given Washington's Indian diaspora a strength that multiplies their impact across the sector. The environment of Washington itself also makes it a fertile ground for innovation. Unlike the overcrowded and expensive lifestyle of Silicon Valley, Seattle offers a balance between professional opportunity and personal life, which has attracted many Indian families seeking stability while pursuing careers in cutting-edge technology. Universities like the University of Washington further feed this cycle, drawing Indian students into advanced research programs, particularly in computer science and engineering, and then funneling that talent into the corporate and startup ecosystem. Indian immigrants also contribute to the state's global outlook, leveraging their ties with India to establish partnerships, outsourcing models, and cross-border collaborations that expand the reach of Washington's technology companies. This international perspective has been particularly valuable for corporations like Microsoft and Amazon, whose global operations rely on teams and expertise spread across continents. Taken together, Washington's story demonstrates how Indian immigrants have not only participated in the tech revolution, but also steered it, cementing the state's place as one of the most important hubs of technological progress outside Silicon Valley. Atlanta in Georgia has emerged as one of the most unexpected but fastest-growing technology hubs in the United States, and Indian immigrants have played a pivotal role in shaping this transformation. Traditionally, Atlanta was associated with industries like transportation, logistics, and finance. But in the past decade, it has reinvented itself as a center for cybersecurity, fintech, and health tech innovation. A major factor in this shift has been the active involvement of Indian professionals and entrepreneurs who saw opportunity in a city that offered both affordability and global connectivity. Atlanta's location as home to Hartsfield-Jackson, the busiest airport in the world, has given Indian entrepreneurs an advantage in establishing international business ties, making it easier to coordinate ventures that span both the US and India. This global linkage has attracted Indian companies, especially IT service firms like Infosys, Wipro, and TCS, to expand operations in Atlanta, bringing with them thousands of Indian engineers and consultants who contribute not only as employees, but also as innovators within the local ecosystem. The entrepreneurial drive of Indian immigrants in Atlanta is most visible in the rise of startups across fintech and cybersecurity. Many Indian professionals who initially worked with large IT service providers have branched out to launch their own companies, addressing gaps in digital payment solutions, fraud detection, and secure cloud platforms. Atlanta, often called the transaction alley of the US, due to its concentration of payment processing companies, has provided fertile ground for these ventures. Indian-led startups have been able to plug directly into this ecosystem, creating products that serve both regional businesses and global clients. In the health tech sector too, Indian immigrants have left a strong mark, building companies that focus on digital health records, telemedicine, and AI-driven diagnostic tools. With Atlanta's strong base of hospitals, universities, and research institutions, these ventures have been able to scale in ways that benefit from both technical expertise and real-world healthcare demands. The influence of Indian immigrants in Atlanta extends beyond entrepreneurship to leadership in corporate America. Many Indian professionals occupy senior positions in Fortune 500 companies headquartered in Georgia, including Delta Airlines, Coca-Cola, and Home Depot, where they help guide digital transformation strategies. Their presence demonstrates not only individual success, but also how Indian immigrants have woven themselves into the fabric of Atlanta's business leadership. Equally important is the community infrastructure that supports this success. Organizations like TIE Atlanta provide platforms for Indian entrepreneurs to pitch ideas, secure mentorship, and access funding. Indian community groups have also created a strong social and cultural network that makes the city attractive to new immigrants, seeking both professional opportunities and a sense of belonging. This combination of affordability, opportunity, and community support has positioned Atlanta as a rising star among America's tech hubs. For Indian immigrants, it has become not just a place to work, but a city where they can shape industries, build companies, and influence the future of technology far beyond the traditional boundaries of Silicon Valley. Indian immigrants have proven that the future of American technology isn't confined to Silicon Valley. It is being built in new hubs across the nation, where their vision and innovation lead the way.